Alright guys, this is part 2 of the tutorial. To be quite honest with you, part 2 has not done, I haven't really moved at all. I literally just paused for a few seconds and then said, hey guys, part 2. So, I feel like it's still part 1, but it's not. If you did not get to see part 1, please go back and check it out. It's the video before this, obviously, and I'll put a little link there so that you can go and check that out. It's in Illustrator, and that's how we got this array of sunshine here. What we're going to do now that we're in Photoshop is we're going to give it the texture that we're looking for. So in this case, the paper look that we're going for. Here's the cool thing about our day and age with Google and the internet. We have too many resources, really, and it makes it to where it's really difficult to find stuff sometimes. But in this case with design, oh my gosh, you just have tons of free material that you can use and make really awesome stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google, and I just did this really quick already. I did a Google search for paper texture, and what you want to make sure you do is once you do that search, it'll just go to images, and then down here it says size. At this point it says any size, and then you click on large. You do want to have a large format that you're working with so that you have enough pixels. In this case, you are going to move it around a little bit, but you still want to have enough, you know. In this case, I actually used this one right here simply because it has the dark edges, and you'll kind of see how that works. But of course, you can use any one of these. They all work pretty good. You do want to have kind of the dark outline. I've used this one before and other stuff, but go ahead and just click on it. And to make it real easy, either you can go to, in this case, it's at DeviantArt, which is, I love this website. And here's our guy by Tarstock. I don't know. By this guy or people. So what you can do is either download image, or if you're kind of moving quick, you can simply click on that and then go to full size image. And if you're on a Mac, you just click and drag over, just like so. All right, so we don't need Google anymore. Let's go ahead and click and drag this into our Photoshop document. Now here's where it gets pretty cool that some people don't know about, but they should. This is now a layer all by itself, and what you can do is if you hold Option or Alt and you hover in between your layers here, it's actually going to give you this little icon, and once you click, it makes it to where this layer is attached to, or it's only affecting the layer below it, which is that little arrow. That's what it's saying. So I can move this paper around, and you're only going to see it from the layer directly below it, which happens to be this dark green. Now, this is why you want kind of that fade in type of look on the paper, because if you have it all just flat, it's going to be like that. And then you can change the blending mode, but it's still not going to have like that border around it kind of thing. So I'm going to actually find a good happy kind of burn inward, and of course you can do Command T to do transform. I'm going to rotate it just a little bit to give it the area that I want it on the paper. Once I'm good there, anytime you see this bounding box, please hit enter. I teach at a media arts academy for high school students, and that is the one thing they always forget. They're like, hey, Mr. Worley, I don't really understand why this is happening, but I can't do anything. Hit enter. Oh, thanks. So don't forget to hit enter whenever you went from transform mode. Then what you want to do is change it to multiply. And sometimes it depends on the paper that you get. You may have to kind of tweak this picture a little bit with some adjustment layers and do whatever you got to do. But in this case, for time's sake, I'm just simply going to leave it as is and kind of move it around to the brighter sides of it so you can still have that green in there. And then you select the layer that has the paper and do Command J or Control J, and then bring it down to layer 14, and then do the process all over again. So you just hold Option and kind of then you come back over here, and you don't have to readjust. You don't have to do the blending mode again, because of course it's already multiplied, but you do have to transform it. So Command T, and let's rotate it around just a little bit. I think it looks best whenever you kind of get a straight edge on that straight edge. Maybe. No, in this case, no, I don't like that at all. Ah, there we go. Let's get a corner in there. Yeah, there you go. See how it kind of burns? It's a little dark there, and then kind of gets a little bit lighter on the inside. That's what you want. So look at that bounding box. What I'm going to do, hit enter. There you go, for all the media arts students. We're going to do it one more time. So we're going to keep doing this until we go all the way around. Command J, move the paper down. It's somewhat tedious, and at the same time, such a good result. I really, really like it. All right, we need to transform it. So we're going to rotate this around just a little bit. This is not one of those times where you want to hold Shift to keep it symmetrical. For all those who haven't seen the first part of this, go back and look at it. You'll know what I'm talking about. Shift is your friend in this case. Not so much. Hit enter and Command J. Move it down and hold Option or Alt, and there you go. And then we're going to move this around. Command T if you want to rotate a little bit. You don't really have too much on this one. One thing you do want to be aware of though is if you need to zoom out just a little bit and then expand out, you want to make sure that the paper texture is actually going over that color. All right, so enter, Command J. I'm going to kind of fast forward through this, so if you guys want to keep working, that'd be great, but I'm just going to cut all this out so we don't have to have, useless video on YouTube of me just talking and trying to get you guys, you know what you're doing by now. You're experts. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, there is all the paper where it's supposed to be. At this point, you really are pretty much done. You have all your paper and all your different shapes and the fillers that they have and all that kind of stuff. What you can do if you'd like is to simply add a background. What I did with, I had different types of backgrounds, so I just added noise here. I just did fill with gray and added some noise. Here I just did white, and I did kind of a drop shadow down here to kind of give it some dimension for the iPhone. And here I did kind of a book type of feel. So I mean, really, whatever kind of background you want, I would suggest doing something not too busy, simply because you don't want to have, you don't want to have too much going on, and this is actually quite a bit for the eye to catch. I do suggest, see how these little lines are here? I would suggest doing maybe a darker background just to kind of make this pop. But of course, it looks great by itself. I really, really like it. One thing to be aware of is, look right here. You want to be careful of that. Make sure you don't do that, because it'll totally just kind of mess it all up for you. So you want to find yellow. Nope, next one. Nope, still the next one. There you go. And then you want to go to this paper, and you can actually move it down, and that'll kind of fix that problem. Go to the orange one, do the same thing. Move this paper down just a little bit. There we go. And that way, the illusion of this being separate pieces of paper is not ruined. Another thing you can do is add a gradient on each one of these as well. So you can kind of select that layer by itself and make a gradient going from this color to this color, like going across like that, and that'll kind of give it its a cool feel. For instance, when you go to when you look at the original one, there's a little tiny bit of gradient, so it's a little bit darker on this side, a little bit brighter on that side, and that just gives it that separation type of feel from each color to each color. So there you go. There's kind of the basis for the paper heart, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see any more of the designs that I've done, and the songs that I've done, and the videos that I've done, then you can go to zachworley.com. I'll have a link for that in the description. So thanks, guys. Bye.